Jets Soared.
ETS Jets. What is going on, Jet fans? And welcome back to another episode of the Jets Ward. I am your host, Ryan Ward, and I'm so excited to be back with you guys. I got a fun one for you. But first, if you have been here before, welcome back. You know I love having you guys here. It is a great place to be because you guys keep coming back for more. And if you're not a Jets fan, or if you're a fan of another team or just a casual NFL fan, you are always welcome here no matter what. It is a safe space for you. Now, guys, there's a lot going on in the NFL right now. The Super Bowl is a week away. It's coming up very quick. But we had something fun happen this past week leading up to Saturday. It was the Senior Bowl. We had Senior Bowl practices and leading up to the Senior Bowl game on Saturday, where a lot of these young guys, draft prospects, coming up trying to show out why they think or show why their stock should rise, why they are the best of the best at their positions. And there was a lot of great stuff that we saw, a lot of great coverage from a lot of fans, not just Jets content creators, but fans of other teams and content creators of other teams. Make sure you guys go support them. They do a lot of great work. But there's a lot of great stuff that came out of Senior Bowl week. We had a lot of fun seeing, watching, and looking at what these players are really, really like and what they can bring to the table for your team. Now, there was a lot of players whose stock skyrocketed during this week that looked amazing, that showed why they should be considered a first-round talent, or even if they were considered fourth-round talents, fifth-round talents, why they should skyrocket up people's boards. But there were also players with really, really high upside that mightily struggled and whose stock fell because of the Senior Bowl week. Now, there's still a chance to fix it. We still have the combine, pro days, things like that. But not looking good at this point. And I'm going to get into some players that I think their stock definitely rose and stock that fell. And I'm confident you guys know some of these players that I'm going to be talking about. So let's get right into it. The first player that I'm going to say their stock skyrocketed, Malachi Fields, wide receiver from Notre Dame. A lot of people consider this kid to be like a third round, mid-second round pick. He's a big-bodied receiver from Notre Dame. He's 6'4", 218 pounds. At the Senior Bowl, during practices, he looked almost unguardable. Was able to go up, pick the ball out of people's hands, was able to just go up, body young, smaller cornerbacks, and just looked legit out there to the point where a lot of people are seeing him as possibly being a late first round wide receiver option. And honestly, he was a captain on that Notre Dame team and a leader, a vocal leader in that locker room, somebody with very high character as a player and proved his talent. A lot of people were worried about his route running ability. Is he going to be able to go up against some of these better cornerbacks and thrive against them? He doesn't have the best speed. Well, he proved that he's got solid route running ability. He catches everything that's thrown to him. He's a big point of contention guy who can jump up and get the ball, high point the ball. Guy did it all this week and looks legit in the game too. Kid's stock skyrocketed. And somebody that I've liked for a little while now, I had him in one of my mock drafts as a third round pick, trading up and getting him. But he ain't going to be there in the third round. Might not even be there in the second round when the Jets pick. So Malachi Fields definitely helped himself. His stock rose significantly thanks to the Senior Bowl. Now, getting into the next player, we're going to go down to somebody whose stock fell, and that's big old Markel Bell, tackle from Miami. He struggled this week. Footwork looked like an issue. A lot of people are showing a video of him getting bull rushed by Trey Moore, edge rusher from Michigan, just getting put on his ass. It was rough for this kid. Somebody who's got a lot of size and strength, but wasn't able to prove that this week. Really, really struggled. Didn't look great in the game either. So Markel Bell's stock definitely plummeted. I don't think it plummeted that much because teams are going to look at this kid. He's 6'8", 358 pounds. Big guy. You could play him at left tackle or right tackle. And maybe even some might consider to put him at guard too. Solid in run game normally. He was solid in Miami this year. Somebody who can, with that size, I don't think he'll drop significantly. Maybe late second round, third round pick. But somebody who's still going to get drafted probably day 2. But he did not help himself thanks to the Senior Bowl week. Markel Bell stock fell. Now going back to a riser, we got Lee Hunter. Guys, this guy just dominated all week. Was dominant. Nobody could block him. Was in the quarterback's face on every single play during practice. Played so well, he didn't need to prove anything more. He didn't even play in the Senior Bowl game because of just how dominant he was. And shout out to TJ Parker. He's not on the list, but TJ Parker had a dominant week as well. His stock definitely rose, but he was considered to be a first-round talent anyway. Lee Hunter was looked at. People were starting to talk about him a lot more with how he played this year. Was looked at as being a second-round pick. I think he's going in the first round no matter what. He has a high motor. He's quick for his size. Definitely very powerful D lineman too. And just dismantled linemen at the Senior Bowl this week and just made a lot of them look bad. So Lee Hunter didn't even play in the Senior Bowl. He didn't need to. His stock skyrocketed. First-round talent right there. Now we're going to a guy whose stock fell. Cage Casey, another inconsistent guy this week. Somebody who's looked at as being a mid-round pick, solid in the run game for Boise State, needs to get better in the pass game. He got beat off the ball a good amount of times and just did not look good. It was okay during positional drills, but when it went up to one-on-ones and things like that, he struggled. And that's something. His footwork didn't look good. He was playing very high pad level. Somebody who, very disappointing to me. I really like this kid, but I think his stock did take a massive hit from this Senior Bowl week. Somebody who's going to really need to prove things during the his pro day, I really think, and from the combine. Somebody who's got a lot of work to do. But I still think there's a lot of talent there. Just did not show it this week. Now for somebody whose stock rose, Bud Clark, safety from TCU. He was around the ball every time. Anytime you saw the ball thrown up, he was there, whether it was knocking the ball out of the receiver's hands, whether it was picking it off. He had 2 interceptions this week in the Senior Bowl practices. Just a big hitter as well, leader. Somebody who looks like was mocked in around the 6th round, could definitely be a 3rd to 4th round pick at this point. He is a ball hawk back there, very quick player too, not afraid to hit people. Solid week for this kid. Really good job for Bud Clark. Happy for him. Safety from TCU. He is going to be going up a lot of people's draft boards. Great week for this young man. Continuing on, Drew Shelton, offensive tackle from Penn State. The offensive line really struggled this week for a lot of these guys. Drew Shelton, Penn State tackle, 6'5", 305 pounds. Footwork, bad. Played high pad level. Didn't look good in drills. Did not look good in one-on-ones. Struggled mightily. And that's something. He's going to take a massive hit here. So he could be a late-round tackle option. He's got the size that you want in a tackle, right tackle. But, man, he needs a lot of work. He looks like a project type of offensive tackle at this point with the way he played this week. I was not impressed with him. But continuing on to the upside, Luke Altmaier. During the practices, he looked like the best quarterback there at Senior Bowl week. Played pretty well in the game as well. Had the most poise, beautiful throw, pocket awareness. Guy just looked cool, calm, collected, and great zip on the ball too. Very, very good player. Somebody who I could see as being a late-round quarterback, maybe now bumping up to the 4th round, especially with like Sawyer Robertson, who's somebody I'm high on, really struggled in the Senior Bowl game. Luke Altmaier, his stock is rising and could be somebody that a lot of teams take an interest in. Very smart player, doesn't have the strongest arm, but solid pass, solid in the pocket, can move out of the pocket, throw on the run. Very smart, detailed type of quarterback here. So Luke Altmaier skyrocketed his stock market for the draft. Continuing on, we get into Keyshawn Elliott, linebacker from Arizona State, 6 foot, 233 pounds. Again, another player really struggled this week. Did not look good in pass coverage, got beat off the ball multiple times, could not get past those bigger blockers, just struggled in one-on-one drills, struggled in positional drills. A guy who really, really took a massive hit here. Wasn't seen as going very, very high in this draft, but now looking like a day 3 type of pick here with how he performed this week. He's going to need to do a ton more to try to raise that stock back up. But Keyshawn Elliott really struggled this week. Getting into the next one, a guy who a lot of people were worried about coming in here because of a massive injury this past year, only played in a handful of games, Caleb Banks. And started off a little rough. It was inconsistent, but as the week went going on, the kid was special. Great speed coming off the line, the power up the middle. Lee Hunter was the most dominant. Caleb Banks was very, very good this past week and showed why he should still be considered a late round, first round pick to early second round pick. Yes, he was injured. A lot of people were worried about the injury. Is it going to be a continual problem? He put those questions to bed this past week. Looked great out there. Look at somebody like the Kentucky player last year that the Bills drafted. Dion Walker. Guy, awful injury. A lot of people were down on him. Comes in, had a solid freaking year for the Buffalo Bills at defensive tackle. Caleb Banks can be that, but more speed and dominance coming off the line. 6'6", 335. That's an imposing guy right there that you would have up the middle. Somebody I think would be great for a bunch of teams, including my New York Jets. So Caleb Banks definitely rose in his stock market this week. Put those questions to bed about the injury concern. He looked fantastic out there. Now a guy whose stock fell, Diego Pavia. Yep, I had to put him here. Didn't look great throughout the week of passing. Very inconsistent. Did not have the best deep ball. Looked okay in the Senior Bowl game. But the biggest concern, which everybody was questioning, his measurables, he weighed in at his height, 5'9", 198. Whew, he is small, man. And he was great at Vanderbilt. He played very well. But that's small for a quarterback, guys. I think that's smaller than Kyler Murray at this point. He'd be the smallest quarterback in the league. That's not good. And yeah, he's got talent, but very inconsistent this past week. And those measurables are going to scare teams off. I'm telling you that right now. And he's an older prospect too. So not a lot going in his favor right now. So that's something to worry about with him. Can he rebound? Yes. But he's going to have to work his butt off to go up draft boards now. Not a great week for him at all. But the opposite of that, Garrett Nussmeier, proven why he's one of the better quarterbacks in this draft class. He came out and looked solid. They're inconsistent at points during the week with his throws, but he had some beautiful shots taken in the game and at the practice. Throws a pretty deep ball. Now, a lot of people are going to be concerned about the size issue. He's 5'10", 202 pounds. That's a concern. Very light frame. Not as tall as a lot of people thought. Under 6 foot. That's a concern. But the kid plays much bigger than he is. And durability concerns, that is an issue. But I think he proved to bed that this past year was a fluke. He dealt with so many injuries. He really did. Dealt with all injuries. But when he's fully healthy, he is a very, very good young quarterback to the point where he's solidifying his stock as a second-round draft pick, possibly even late round first. Look at a team like the Rams who could take him and what he could do under Sean McVay's offense. Carson Beck is another one who's in there. Does Garrett Nussmeier move past Carson Beck? Maybe, but played very well in the Senior Bowl game, was the MVP of his team. Kid who's going to be very, very good. Teams are going to look at him. I don't think he's going to make it past the third round. Second round is interesting. I don't think he's going to make it past the second round either. Maybe a mid-sixth round pick. Could be the Jets pick at 44, maybe even earlier. It's going to really depend on Trinidad Chambliss as well if he ends up going back, if the court rules in his favor, if he goes back to college or if he comes out. That throws a little thing in the wrench for him because I do think Trinidad is a little better than him, but proved a ton at the Senior Bowl and the week of practice. Great job for Garrett Nussmeier. Very happy for him. Now another person whose stock fell, Nick Singleton. Didn't look great in the week of practices, but the worst part was foot injury. I believe he fractured his foot, which is going to require surgery. So his draft stock is in question at this point, to the point where he might go undrafted because of this injury, depending on how long he'll be out for. And that stinks because he was looked at as being one of the top 5 running backs in this draft, in my opinion. But the injuries are going to get you. And he didn't have a great week of practice either when he was able to practice. So that foot injury is going to be very, very worrisome for him. Draft stock in question, could be an undrafted prospect, depending on how this injury goes, how severe it is. But Nick Singleton from Penn State, draft stock plummeting from this. Coming into the next one, I had to talk about this kid from John Carroll, wide receiver Tyron Montgomery, weighing in at 5'11", 198 or 190. Looked unguardable in the game at practice. Nobody even heard of this kid. And he just comes in and is dominating every single rep, catching everything thrown to him. Very classy kid, too. Just got great speed, solid hands, physical kid. Really great week for him. Coming from a smaller college, great job to show who you are. His stock is going to rise from this. Now he needs to show it at his pro day. He needs to show it at the combine, that this wasn't just a flash in the pan. Kid needs to keep this up, but happy for this kid coming in and going against these kids from bigger schools and basically showing out and balling out against them. And lastly, the last guy whose stock fell at the Senior Bowl, LT Overton. Very, very inconsistent. Did not look very good. Didn't look like the best edge rusher there at all. Was coming out of Alabama. Was looked at as being one of the top edges. Late first round, mid-second round pick. His stock is plummeting. He just did not look good. Didn't look good in the senior of the game. Didn't look good in practices. One-on-one drills was getting beaten off the ball. Positional drills did not look quick. Did not look fast. Did not have good hands. Kid needs a lot to show. Did not look good in this week of practice and in the game. Somebody whose draft stock I think is going to fall, maybe putting him out of the second round into the third, maybe even further. Because there are players who just continually drop. And if it doesn't get better for him at the Pro Bowl, if it doesn't get better for him at the Combine or his Pro Day, he is going to fall bad. Now, these are the guys who I think their stock rose and fell from Senior Bowl week. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think there's anybody that I missed? Do you think there's anybody that I got wrong? Do you think some of these players who I had fall, do you think their stock is gonna rise? What do you think I missed? I would love to hear from you guys down in the comments section. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell for any notifications of when I post videos as well. I love making these videos for you guys. You seem to be enjoying them, and that makes me really happy. And again, follow me on X, Instagram, and on TikTok as well. I try to post these videos there and my shorts there as well. And again, guys, I love you. I thank you and appreciate you. And thank you so much for joining me in the Jets Ward. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
The Jets Ward.